The Atlanta Hawks NBA Cup. They are going to the semifinals with, hey, you're going to Madison Square Garden. Trae Young. The Knicks fans were in it. They were loud. They were insane. They went up 10, 12 points. Third quarter came around. Trae Young took that game over. He did it with his passing. He did it with his scoring. He did it with a little bit of everything. DeAndre Hunter off the bench, as we said, found his niche, 24 points. I mean, he's scoring 20 points off the bench. Like, that is what he's doing. He's nearly averaging 20 points a game now. Jalen Johnson, unbelievable game, 21 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists. Dyson Daniels, quiet offensively, but oh my God, had Jalen Brunson, one of the best scorers in this league, in a straitjacket, who went 5 of 15 from the field and only had 14 points. It was everything that we've been talking about. The combination of Clint Capella and Onyeka Okongwu, 23 points and 24 rebounds. Like, this is a Hawks team, and the key word is team. They don't need Trae Young to be the offensive engine. They play offense and they play defense. They can get it off the bench. They can get it from their starters. They can get it from so many different areas. It is fun to watch, and right now, everyone's starting to recognize this is the fun and up-and-coming Hawks. They keep playing like this because they're finally healthy, like they played since Thanksgiving when they got healthy. It's going to be a different conversation. I mean, they are 6-1 against the Celtics, the Cavs, the Knicks, and the Bucks, which are the top 4 teams in the Eastern Conference right now. They aren't just giant killers, and I'm not saying they're going to win an NBA championship, but they can not only get to the playoffs, like, they can compete with these teams.
Yeah, health is the key word there. And when they are healthy, they can go toe-to-toe with anybody in the league. And like you said, are they gonna threaten the Boston Celtics for a championship? Probably not. But this is exactly where the Thunder have been the past few years. Just banging on the door saying, hey, we're here. We're coming. We're young. We just need a few more pieces, maybe more experience, and we're going to be here. Now the Thunder are as live as anybody in the league for a title, and the Hawks are just a couple years behind them of where they were. And that's just, for all the flack that Landry Fields and Kyle Korver got, they have done a masterful job rebuilding this roster the right way. And I'm sure Quinn Snyder had a say in it. All 3 of those guys deserve their flowers because this team is finally resembling what a basketball team should be, which is what the Thunder look like. And it's not this throw together crap like the Lakers where they just try and get the biggest or the biggest and baddest names and just throw a conglomerate of stars together and hope it works out. No, there's a rhyme. There's a reason. Everybody has a role. Everybody has a niche. DeAndre Hunter, every single player other than Trae Young, notable player, is going to be in the running for NBA awards. 6th Man of the Year, Most Improved Player, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year. Like, that is the kind of stuff that dreams are made of. Like, we are finally building things the right way.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the DeJounte Murray trade and how that thing worked out, the Hawks were in such a abysmal spot. I mean, just an abysmal spot. And Landry Fields and Kyle Korver, to their credit, somehow figured out a way to turn that entire 2 or 3 years into a positive by landing.
It's not even a net zero. It is
it's a positive. Like, Dyson
positive.
Daniels has completely changed the culture of the Hawks on the defensive end. And you can see it. I mean, Trae Young is playing defense. Like,
it's contagious.
There is a complete different level of effort on that side of the ball that everybody is playing team defense now that just did not exist. And they will every single Hawks player will sit there and tell you, Dyson Daniels brought that to this team. I mean, He has completely changed the culture of that entire side of the basketball court. And offensively, they've always had pieces. But now it seems like they have a little bit more pieces with Jalen Johnson coming into his own, Reza Shea on there, DeAndre Hunter making this 6th-year leap. I mean, he actually does kind of look like Kawhi Leonard now.
Well, I mean, the only people who have been bashing DeAndre Hunter are people who don't watch basketball, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, listen.
I've gone to bat for this guy.
He hasn't been able to stay healthy.
That is the only thing that's been stopping DeAndre Hunter.
And I think it's just stopped his development. I mean, it's hindered him from getting to this place because it seems like there's been times where he's gotten close to this level, but he hasn't been able to burst through that ceiling because every time this happens, he goes out there and gets injured, and that undoubtedly has been an issue. But all of a sudden, that looks like a good idea to extend him, and he looks like a fantastic player. I mean, he's really the second or third option probably behind Jalen Johnson, even though he's coming off the bench. I mean, he's just been absolutely unbelievable. So them getting out of that hole, not only getting Dyson Daniels, but getting a couple of first-round picks. We'll see how the Lakers end up, but that could easily be a lot.
Lakers are talking buying, selling. They're talking
Yeah,
all options are on the table. People are targeting LeBron James.
That could easily
This
be a
could
lottery.
easily be a lottery.
The biggest reason for them not is, one, I don't know if Bron really wants to leave LA, and two, do you want to give up on a season kind of like the Hawks were facing, where are you going to tank when you don't own your own draft pick? Because it's kind of hard to do. There's not really a lot of reason to go out there and lose a lot of games. But yeah, credit to those guys. Credit to the drafting ability even before them of Travis Schlenk. I mean, we talk about DeAndre Hunter, but Jalen Johnson, able to get him at the 20th pick. He was like a parting gift that if you're Landry Fields and Kyle Korver, you got to be looking at that today like, hey, thanks, man. Like, I know we had nothing to do with you getting fired. We were the next guys coming in, but thank you a lot for that, because that guy is a budding superstar. Like, I'm past the point of being like, he's an all-star. This guy is a 22-year-old player that is putting up numbers that are just absolutely insane, and he can do everything.
There's only 4 players, and I think I'm going to maybe butcher this. Jokic, Giannis, Sabonis, and Giannis. And I think there's one more that maybe I'm forgetting, or it's those 3 and Jalen Johnson are the only ones who are averaging. And Jalen Johnson is just going back and forth with some of these, whether he's right under 20 points or right under 10 rebounds. Those 3 guys and Jalen Johnson are the only ones in the entire league who are averaging 20 points, at least 10 rebounds, and at least 5 assists. That is company that I never thought I would say.
Well, and he's doing it at 22. Like, that's the other thing. Like, we are just.
I also just named 3 guys that are the highest usage players on their team, where Jalen Johnson is not.
Yeah, dude, it's like we've been talking about this team when we came in. He said, hey, there's some exciting pieces to watch. Watch out for this guy, that guy. I don't think anyone could have painted that it would have come together this quickly. And as we talked a lot with the Falcons, now it hasn't necessarily worked out this way, but with time and these guys playing together, especially now that they're
Basketball,
healthy,
even more so.
Yeah, I mean, they are going to gel and get better especially with all the youth on this team. Quinn Snyder is clearly another thing that you can tip the cap to Landry Fields and Kyle Korver. I think they nailed that hire. I think
it's just crazy that Quinn Snyder, saw the vision 2 years ago, came in during the season and was like, I can do this.
Well, it's one of those guys where there's a lot of knockers on Trae Young, but there are some believers, and clearly Quinn Snyder was a believer.
He didn't come here for DeJounte Murray, clearly.
Trae Young, despite not shooting the ball as well, has kind of taken back a little bit as a scorer.
This is a career low usage.
This is Steve Nash, Jason Kidd in their primes level of passing and distributing and controlling the game. I mean, he has the ball on a string to his teammates. He is in complete control. He's not turning the ball over as much. He's creating more for his teammates. I mean, this is prime level, those guys who are some of the best passers this league has ever seen. I mean, Steve Nash won 2 MVPs for passing the ball. That's the kind of level of play, passing the ball, playmaking we're seeing from Trae Young. I think Kendrick Perkins said it yesterday, but it is 100% correct. Like, what he is doing as a playmaker is something only few people that have ever played this game have been able to do.
He's also just got 40 points in his back pocket. Like that, that still exists. That didn't just go away. Yeah, and I know that he's not being incredibly efficient, but he's completely tailored his game to what Quinn Snyder is probably asking him or demanding him to do, where he is at, and he's got a career low usage rate right now. Jalen Johnson has a career high usage rate. DeAndre Hunter has a career high usage rate. Zachary Richey is obviously a rookie, and Dyson Daniels has a career high usage rate. So he's clearly adapting his skill set to what the team needs. And on any given night, like I just said, he's got 40 in his back pocket.
And I want to give one more shout out. We talked a lot about DeAndre Hunter, but the Hawks bench as a whole, and we've said it a few times.
There might not be a better 6, 7, and 8.
I mean, Onyeka Okongwu, yes, he splits times with Capella, but the combination of Capella and Okongwu, like having them all on the floor,
thank God we didn't trade him.
Has been.
I was really wrong.
Has been outstanding. Bogey has battled some injuries, but you know what he gives you, and occasionally he's fully capable of giving you 20, 25 on any given night if he's feeling right. One of the better shooters to come off the bench, and DeAndre Hunter has really turned into an all-around scorer that is so much more confident in his game. Like, you can see it in his demeanor, in his shot, everything about his confidence. And every single night, the combination of those 3 and whoever else they use, whether it's Krejci or whether it's Kobe Buffkin, is giving the Hawks 40 points every single night. And that's just something not a lot of teams have.